Flare Network and the Flare token is looking to do what Stacks did to Bitcoin, but on a much larger scale, bringing smart contract capabilities to some of the biggest projects that don't currently have it. And that is why in this video, we're going to talk about Flare, why we're so bullish on it, and some news that could potentially change the game. So let's jump right in. This is from the Flare.network website. Connect everything. We talk about narratives in the crypto bull markets. Interoperability has been a big narrative and will continue to be a big narrative until we get the masses adopted into the cryptocurrency space. So two main features here for Flare, their FTSO, also known as their Flare Time Series Oracle, and their Stake Connector. Couple things that Flare does, bridging. So one of the founders, Hugo Filion, talks about $3 billion was lost to bridge hacks and wormhole hacks in 2023, and Flare is looking to change that by allowing bridging using the core protocol of Flare to build safer bridges. Also, state acquisition, build dApps and protocols that utilize state from any connected chain. This is an important one as well. We talk about onboarding the masses, Web 2 connectivity, bringing on the people who are currently in Web 2 over to Web 3, trustlessly trigger smart contracts with data from Web 2 APIs, decentralized data feeds, which is their FTSO, build apps and protocols that utilize decentralized time series data, and scalable smart contract. Flare integrates an industry standard EVM and uses scalable, low-carbon consensus algorithm. Now, what is Flare? It's from academy.moralis.io. Flare Network allows users to use non-programmable assets in smart contract and decentralized applications. The Flare crypto project promotes interoperability and decentralization via a suite of novel technologies. Flare Network is an EVM-compatible blockchain that enables users to bridge assets between multiple networks. Furthermore, the Songbird Network is Flare's canary network that allows developers to test features and updates before implementing them on Flare. This is very similar to what Polkadot and Kusama have. This is another step, another barrier to make sure that anything that is deployed on the mainnet is safe, sound, and is not going to go down. So what you do is you launch first on the Songbird testnet, essentially the canary network. Once everything goes smoothly there, then you move it on to the Flare mainnet. Let's get into here. What is the Flare network? The Flare crypto project uses a modified version of the novel Avalanche consensus mechanism with FBA like the one used by XRPL and Stellar Lumens. Instead of using proof of stake like many other smart contract platforms, Flare's consensus allows their native token to be available for non-staking activities, bringing more utility to the token. Accordingly, the network security doesn't hinge on the number of native tokens staked like many proof of stake chains, like Ethereum, like Solana. According to the team, this model creates more use case for the Flare token and gives users a higher degree of flexibility when participating in consensus without jeopardizing the network security. We have this piece of news from CoinGape. So I talk about what Stacks is doing, but on a much larger scale. They are looking to bring smart contract utility to projects like Bitcoin, XRP, and Dogecoin via their F assets. That system will empower users to earn yield in dApps on the Flare network or bridge their assets to other ecosystems using their innovative Layer Cake protocol. The latter, which is the Layer Cake protocol, described as an insured in-transit bridging and cross-network composability protocol, offers users a seamless and secure means of connecting with different blockchains. With Oracle secured by the network, Flare aims to enable open, decentralized, and safe interoperability, not only between blockchains, but also between blockchains and Web 2 APIs. Again, bridging the gap for the new users to enter into our space. Couple of big pieces of news and partnerships here. This is from the Flare Network website. Flare onboards Google Cloud as a network validator and contributor to their FTSO. The addition of Google Cloud as an infrastructure provider, acting as both a network validator and a contributor to the Flare Time Series Oracle on the Flare Network. Google Cloud will be one of 100 organizations adopting the new combined role of validator and contributor to the FTSO on Flare. This could play out very similar to what the Hedera Governing Council looks like. We have a multitude of giants from both Web 2 and Web 3 that are not only going to secure the network, but help build out the infrastructure as well. Also, James Tromans, the head of Web 3 at Google Cloud, said, quote, data access at scale is important to increase relevant blockchain use cases and greater global adoption of the technology. Google Cloud becoming a validator on the Flare network will help support that mission. Flare has become a part of the Google for Startups Cloud program designed to accelerate the growth of Web3 startups, giving developers on Flare access to financial and technical support from Google Cloud and partners. This is the important thing. Financial and technical support from one of the largest companies globally, the leader in Web3 or Web2 search engine, the leader in essentially cloud services, and Flare and all the projects building on it are going to have access to that capital and to those resources. Also, Flare partnered with Bloxico to launch a blockchain reputation score. This is from CoinSpeaker. So a little bit about the Flare reputation score. The Flare reputation score is set to redefine how participants are evaluated by combining objective on-chain data with subjective community-based measures. This innovative scoring and voting system will empower community members to assess and rate each other based on factors such as participation, network contribution, and general behavior. This move not only enhances the overall transparency of the Flare ecosystem, but also contributes to the establishment of a vibrant and accountable community. A lot of people have been jaded. A lot of people have been rug pulled. A lot of people have lost a lot of money by bad projects, bad founders, and potential scams. And this partnership with Bloxico and Flare is looking to help people mitigate those risks. One of the key advantages of the Flare reputation score lies in its ability to lower the barrier to entry for new community members. The introduction of this metric mitigates the perceived risk associated with deploying capital to relatively unknown providers, thereby encouraging more individuals to engage with the Flare network. The beauty of cryptocurrency is you can remain anonymous, and a lot of people like to remain anonymous for various reasons. And so if we can have the anonymity for people who want it, and also we can give the people on the other end who are deploying capital to these projects a peace of mind knowing that, hey, we've mitigated the most amount of risk we possibly can. Of course, there's always risk to investing money, but we mitigate as much as we can and abstract away that cost. Then you have this piece of news, XDFI, the world's first compliant decentralized futures protocol. Flare has announced a partnership with Syndrix Solutions to launch XDFI, a new decentralized futures protocol created by Wall Street veterans. It aims to raise industry standards for compliance and efficiency, delivering a trustless, non-custodial futures contract purchasing environment that operates 24/7. And they're implementing what's called KYCT, which is Know Your Customer Tokenization, which will ensure 100% confidence that futures contract positions are purchased in a fully compliant manner. This approach is the first of its kind for DeFi, ensuring full compliance without a centralized intermediary, broker, or custodian. Now, I know what all you DeFi natives are going to say. Well, why do we got a KYC if it's peer-to-peer, right? Well, you got to understand, some people, they want to play by the rules, especially these big companies. If we're going to onboard Wall Street, the masses, the millions, they want to play by the rules to some degree, and this allows them a sandbox of playing those rules and also tap into the DeFi ecosystem. With initial support for Bitcoin and ETH, the protocol will soon expand to other FTSO-enabled assets like XRP and Doge, as well as traditional commodities like crude oil, gold, natural gas, corn, copper, and silver. We have a partnership here with Kinetic to introduce lending and borrowing to the Flare ecosystem. Kinetic will offer users a seamless platform for participating in DeFi, complete with the potential to earn block rewards using their supplied digital assets. This collab will introduce lending and borrowing, essential for deepening liquidity and fostering a robust DeFi ecosystem on the Flare network. Speaking of robust, Flare has had robust funding as they just recently secured $35 million in funding to bolster their Layer 1 ecosystem, strengthening the ecosystem with investments and liquidity measures. The funding round is part of Flare's ongoing efforts to enhance their ecosystem and expand its capabilities in supporting the creation of smart contract protocols, especially in the realm of pricing oracles. which is, again, their FTSO. In addition to securing fresh investment, the network has taken significant steps to ensure the stability and health of its token economy. Early investors in the project have shown their long-term commitment by voluntarily agreeing to extend the distribution of tokens that was initially planned for this year, pushing it all the way out to Q1 of 2026. What does that mean? That means the dumping is not going to come anytime soon, at least for the next 2 years. Now, we talk about fundraising. Let's take a look at where else they've raised money from. So again, recently, February 23rd, just a week ago, raised $35 million from Kinetic and Avis Layer. They also raised $11.3 million in June of 2021, again from Kinetic, but other names you might have seen like Genesis and CoinFund. They've also raised another $7.5 and $4 million in private funding rounds. Taking a look at where is Flare right now, we are currently sitting at a 4.58 cent price per token, ranked number 67 on CryptoRank.io, with a fully diluted market cap of $4.65 billion. Now, as far as CERC to total supply, you have about 34.2%, which is not great. But seeing as from the last article, the investors, the VCs and the capital funds push their allocation unlocks all the way out to 2026. In the rage of a bull market with no massive dumps in token inflation, Flare looks like it could potentially have a big run up. We also had their token, which was airdropped to XRP holders. They airdropped over 4 billion tokens to XRP holders, which the snapshot for this was taken over 2 years ago. So if you're the proud participant or recipient of the Flare token from holding XRP, throw a 1 in the comments section. And then let's take a look at the price action on Flare. So we have Flare on the 4-hour here. So on the shorter term, this is typically a pattern which is a descending triangle that does typically break to the downside, but there's not a lot of downside that we expect it to break. If we hide this triangle and we throw on our price action concepts here from LuxAlgo, you can see here we had a big liquidity grab and a change of character on the price structure to the downside for Flare. But if we do continue to go to the downside, we do have this fair value gap between around 4 cents even and about 4.4 cents. So if you're a price sensitive investor or person who wants to allocate to Flare, this is probably, if you want to wait, this is probably where I would wait to get in at. And if we throw on our Fibonacci retracement levels from this massive run up we had starting on February 25th, you take a look. That fair value gap area also coincides with the 786 level on the Fibonacci retracement. Of course, if you have a longer term time horizon, this is one where you should be thinking about buying, holding, and starting to ladder out profits as Flare will continue to make all-time highs. And the DeFi ecosystem, with the way they're going, they're well capitalized. They have one of the largest communities behind them in the XRP community, and they're looking to do what a lot of projects haven't done, and that is add smart contracts to projects like Bitcoin, Doge, Ethereum, and we'll see who's next. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it. Come check out our live show Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.